University of Wisconsin-Madison. As you know, Wisconsin has been a leader in agriculture for decades and decades, but it is recently that it has become a leader in urban agriculture, which we want to take advantage of to help solve hunger in urban slums. I am Meredith. This is Travis. No, sorry. This is Isaac. This is Travis, Miles, and Wally. So our product is called VitaCycle. We believe that the global food crisis will be solved through economic empowerment, sustainable agriculture, and employment opportunities for the bottom of the pyramid, that bottom 22% referenced in the Hult case study. VitaCycle will empower impoverished and malnourished individuals in urban slums by providing kits for the cultivation of microgreens and creating an economically viable distribution system for drinking water. Our value proposition emphasizes the cost-effectiveness of microgreen grow kits and the nutrition of microgreen grow kits and clean water distribution. Our idea is very simple. We utilize a tray, soil, which will be composted using waste organics in the areas that we target. We'll also be making partnerships with pre-consumer waste producers. And water, which is utilized, for which we utilize the water saver system. We base this off Growing Power, which is a highly successful urban agricultural hub in Milwaukee that has since expanded to Madison and Chicago. We've always thought that Growing Power is great. We've worked with them in our own in different capacities for a couple years, and so does President Bill Clinton, who has called Will Allen, the CEO and founder. He is also a MacArthur Fellow recipient, MacArthur Fellow, his hero. To quote President Clinton, "It can change America's relationship, urban agriculture, with people all over the world. But most important, it can give countless number of people their lives back and their dignity back. This should not be something that you cross off the list. It should keep this on your radar." So we are going to start our pilot in Dharavi, India, which is the densest slum in the world. It's 1 million people, up to 1 million people in 1 square mile. We did this for a few reasons, primarily because half of us have actually worked in India and employed an aquaponics system there. We have already created partnerships on the ground, some of which are referenced in your handout, and we just think we can hit the ground running if we start there. All right, that's it.
All right, and with that, I'd like to talk a little bit about the flexibility of the VitaCycle kit. The VitaCycle kit is composed of standardized units or sections that allow for simple construction, flexible arrangement, and uniform distribution. Our distribution infrastructure is dependent upon bicycle trailers. We have developed a prototype and business plan using a bicycle trailer with a 600-pound capacity. Mobile distribution contributes to a flexible and lean business model that allows our social business to adapt to the ever-changing infrastructure and population distribution of urban slums. VitaCycle is a self-contained system that is not susceptible to pathogens or contamination. Our growing medium and finished microgreens will be sanitized before and after distribution. VitaCycle is also culturally relevant. The mix consists of brassica rapa plant, more specifically radish, turnip, and mustard greens. The brassica rapa plant is internationally recognized with many local varieties adapted to cultural factors. Vitamix will maintain cultural relevance by utilizing local varietals of the brassica rapa plant. Next, VitaCycle is efficient. A 10-day grow cycle yields 1/2 pound of microgreens. Our kit requires a minimal amount of inexpensive, readily available raw materials. As Meredith will point out later, microgreens are nutritionally dense. Economic, most importantly, our product is cost effective. The microgreen grow kit will cost approximately 11.5 cents. And with that, we've had to develop a plan for distributing sanitary water to actually water these plants. And with that, we've built a mobile distribution center for clean water that allows us to produce 1 liter of water for less than 1 cent, more specifically 0.79 cents. And with that, take it away, Travis.
VitaCycle is a nonprofit, but we're going to utilize social enterprise as the bottom. Our key component here is to employ as many people as possible while still being able to sell them nutritious food. This is a very simple diagram of our model. There's 3 key areas of entrepreneurial employment, which one being the hub, the growing facility, and the distribution and collection. The distribution and collection is very, very key because we recycle and reuse these same containers and the same Lifesaver water distribution containers for that need. Taking a look at the hub is the epicenter of our production and where all the resources really go and come together. And with this hub, it's not only where everything comes together, it's where all the people come together initially to grow, to understand how to grow and learn the knowledge about how to grow these simple systems. With that, we had the opportunity as a group to visit India last year to do an aquaponics system, and we had the pleasure to work with Women's Self-Help Group. And the Women's Self-Help Group really embody everything that our organization cares about. Not only do they care about feeding themselves, but they also care about creating an actual business. And this is a key function of a social enterprise where they can create enough value for themselves while also creating additional food to actually sell to customers. Some of these customers that we've already identified would be schools, and that would be huge if we could definitely get into the school system to supplement the already diet for more nutrition in their food while also grabbing the local cuisine in these areas. And we've also talked about farmers market and affluent community as well. The other section that we'd like to hit is because these tray systems are so cost effective, at the bottom of the pyramid, we'll be able, with the employment structure in place, we'll also be able to buy these systems. And we think that is very valuable, and I'm going to take it over to Meredith.
Okay. So let's talk nutrition. Oh, thank you. Let's talk nutrition. So based on our research, most of the population of the bottom 10% receive about 1,500 calories a day. Most of that comes from carbohydrates and some meat. So we believe that at least 75% of the daily value, the required daily value is already being met. But we have worked really closely with a nutritionist at UW-Madison who has worked in these developing areas, and she has pointed out a few key nutritional components for holistic nutrition, including vitamin A, folic acid, and iodine. So what we want to do is supplement what's already in their diet. Obviously, what's already in their diet are very hollow calories, and we want to bring to the table very nutritious calories. You can see that in one flat alone, you receive well over 100% of your daily required amount of vitamin A, and so on and so forth. You can also mix and match. You can adjust the ratios to target certain populations. So if you are targeting, say, women who are pregnant, you want to up your folic acid, and so you might increase the amount of radish greens that you include. Further, this Vitamix is just one of the many options that we can utilize. We can utilize cash crops like mushrooms and other really highly nutritious foods. So scalability, partners, sorry. We're going to skip over these two videos, but we have worked very, very closely with partners over the last 2 months. Among them is Robert Egger, who founded DC Central Kitchen, and Paul Williams, the founder of the Fast Plants Initiative at UW-Madison, also a professor emeritus of plant pathology. He is partially responsible for these sprouts that you have in front of you. So we have videos of these folks, but we're going to skip over that for the sake of time. So scalability, finally. Our first year, we want to target Derby alone. We think it's the most feasible option. It is a highly dense area, and it would be targeting 1 million people, and it would be working out the kinks that we believe we would encounter within that first year. Certainly there would be many. We would then expand into a Tri-City system throughout India, utilizing the inherent Tri-City system, which is built into the infrastructure all over the world. It's just an aspect of civilization. We would utilize the partners we already have, including Icho Paul, the Pearson Foundation, Mahadil, etc. These, again, will be formed in our work at India before and throughout the last 2 months. We hope to target all urban areas with more than 2 million people within the first year, which would target about 75 million of that bottom 22%. We would expand then into Asia. Our focus again is around geography, that triangle system that works with infrastructure. Pulling out and hopefully having all 220 malnourished individuals in urban slums by year 5. All right, so again, we believe that, that this is the best system. We have worked really, really hard over the last 2 months to build connections both on the ground and in the U.S., especially at our university. Our system is adaptable, it is highly efficient, it is incredibly nutritious, and it decreases any time that you'd have between the farm and the table. It is there, it is available, and it is sanitary.
And with that, we'd like to open ourselves up to questions.
Feel free to keep trying the greens and let us know what you're intrigued about your system.
Who drives the cart? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So maybe, as you expand to the different regions, the inputs and the contents that go into the cart, how would that change, and is the availability sufficient across these regions for scalability and expansion?
Sure, so we actually found this unit out of Iowa, extruded aluminum from the same state. We found so many different designs that the people of India are very innovative in the way they bring materials together. This is a model, a prototype of what the construction dimensions could look like, and we're hoping that they'll be able to adapt to their own inventions and their own creativity on the ground. And we just want to show what the possibilities are in a certain module so that they can scale up from there on their own. It would be delivered by a series of Dabawala delivery men that already have a 5,000 person network in Mumbai that only make one mistake every 1 million deliveries for lunch service.
What about the cultural relevance of the food? Is this?
It is, Paul Williams, our mentor, has traveled all over the world and actually works in plant pathology and nutrition, and he assures us, as does our own travel experiences, and Sherry, the nutritionist we've been working with, that brassica plants, which is the basic plant that you have in front of us, are in every single open market. They are eaten everywhere.
The seeds are available, it's just whether or not you cook it. So in our diets, it's going to be salad, but in theirs, it's going to be part of rice and different kinds of stews.
Time for one more question?
No, I think we are.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.